welcome to week 9 of Monday Night Madness here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We've got a good one here set at the Eldora Speedway. The World of Outlaws was here last weekend for Let's Race 2. So why not bring the best iRacing league on dirt to the Big E? Rossburg, Ohio, the place, fast speeds wherever you go, and a lot of passing anywhere, anytime. So glad you could join us at the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Marty Sakala with you. We should be in for a treat here this evening as we are getting set to go for the Rebels division, and the Rebels are brought to you by Langdon Mechanical. It's the Tim Chapman Racing pre-race show. We're in round number 9 of the 2023 spring season, and we have had a good start to the season. The man everyone's talking about as we come on in is Joseph Grandy in the 518. There he is in the Training Wheels Racing ride. 3 wins on the season, and he comes in as your points leader. Grandy off to one heck of a start to 2023 spring season. Here are how the points look with drops coming on in. Grandy with a 48-point advantage on Jeff Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick in second in points. G.J. Boydell is currently third in the standings. Fourth, Dustin Sargent. And fifth, Jesse Bandy. Bear with us here. We're fixing our sound system. The moment, there we go. But we are set to go racing here. We're ready to go heat racing. Heat race number 1 is brought to you by our good friends at Flatline Racing Bodies. Flatline Racing Bodies, quality racing bodies produced by former NASCAR short track champion Dan Chapman in the hotbed of Clarence, Iowa. Let's give you a starting lineup for heat race number 1. These will be the drivers that will compete for pole position for our 30-lap feature. Greg Parmalee and Jeff Fitzpatrick on row number 1. Steve Maurer and Joseph Grandy, row 2. Joe Backus and Rich Holland, row number 3. John Krupa starts from P7 this evening. Here's how, if you're new to the Coast to Coast Racing League, here's how our event works on Monday nights. 2 separate divisions. Rebels is our B division, like the Xfinity Series, and the Cup Series is our A division. Every event looks like this. Heat lineups are set by pill draw. If we have over 24 drivers, a top 4 would transfer to the feature. Everyone else would go to the B main. Heats are 8 laps. B main 10 laps. We then have a 3-minute warm-up, followed by our features. 30-lap features for the Rebels, 35 for the Renegades. Lights are off the Steve King Foundation pace truck as we are 1 lap away from going green. Definitely missed you guys in the past couple of weeks. Last week, Mother Nature decided to be a you-know-what and keep me in Dover for an extra day, to say the least. So, but it was a fun experience. Thanks to all that reached out and enjoyed the coverage. But now we're home on Monday nights, and we're ready to rock and roll. Fitzpatrick and Parmalee set to bring us to green. Winner starts on pole position this evening. Who's it going to be? About to find out. Green is out. Fitzpatrick and Parmalee nearly touch, entering turn number 1. Grandy up there in the 4th spot. Look out, Holland's around. What a save! What a save from Rich Holland. He was 90 degrees sideways. He can thank Steve Bauer for that big time. But we got a good race for the lead brewing off of turn number 2. Fitzpatrick, Grandy, and Parmalee. Grandy starting in the 4th spot. He's already up to 2nd. So you're right on board with the Rebel points leader coming on in, trying to close in on Fitzpatrick. A 13:39 last lap for Grandy. About 700ths better than the leader last time by. 3 laps in the books. Again, top 4 transfer, your 4th place driver. Currently Joe Backus in that 46. 0.3 of a second advantage on Rich Holland, but Holland trying to close in just a bit. Check the lap here last time by. 300ths better. Grandy now looks on the outside for the race lead. Then looks inside the crisscross for Joseph Grandy. Oh, he moves Fitzpatrick up the track, and the 90's in the wall. Just crowded him up there for just a bit. You threw the elbow and Fitzpatrick moves back down to second. Parmalee remains in third. Here we come to 2 laps to go at Eldora for heat race number 1. And everyone will make the show regardless, because we have under 24 drivers racing with us. 1 lap to go. We know who's going to start on pole is Joseph Grandy, looking for win 4 of the season. But for second, Jeff Fitzpatrick against Greg Parmalee. Parmalee decides to rock the cushion, tries to counter back, but Fitzpatrick gets second at the line by 1/4 of a second. Backus edges out Holland by 1/10 for 4th, followed by Krupa and Maurer. Moving on to heat race number 2. Heat 2 is brought to you by Langdon Mechanical. Langdon Mechanical, the second to none heat and air conditioning company in the Hamilton area, and promise our customers our own professionally trained Langdon specialists will be there personally every step of the way. We guarantee your customer satisfaction from start to finish, including sales, installation, and maintenance service of your heating and/or cooling system. Every equipment sale, installation, maintenance service call we make is backed 100% by Langdon. Anthony Morano and Dustin Sargent make up row number 1. Row number 2, Trent Verstraeten and Mike Cranmer. Row 3, the Bandy-Built Master, Jesse Bandy and Dino Dean Reynolds. Let's know who you're rooting for in the chat. Hello to, I believe it's Farron, if not Farron. He says, is there a cap for the league? If you're wondering in terms of drivers, no, it is not. It is open to anyone. All you just have to do is pay a fee. I don't believe you'll be eligible to, unless you pay now. I don't know. Go to c2cro.com for more details. To learn more, I can tell you the feature cap is at 24. To get in, I think we have a cap of 36 to 40 at most. I can't recall off the top of my head when it comes to a regular race night. But if you were to race with us, obviously on Mondays, you'd be placed first in the C Division Raiders. And then you got to move up through the Rebels and Renegade ranks each time. So we're set for Heat 2. Winner will start next to Joseph Grandy on the front row. Morano gets away with the lead. Dustin Sargent looks up on the cushion, hangs on to second, but he's going after Morano for the race lead. Could he counter it back? No. Morano gives him the lane. Big money leads lap number 1. Side by side for third on back. Trent Verstraeten takes it away. Mike Cranmer goes 2 for 1 as he looks for fourth, followed by Bandy and Reynolds as they're 3 wide off at turn 4. Bandy with the slight edge over Mike Cranmer. Bandy throws the slide job at the number 70 and moves up to P4. You've got a race for second brewing. Here comes Verstraeten on Morano for P2. Can he get it at the start-finish line is the question. Not just yet on board with the 88. Decides to look around the cushion and test his way around it off turn 4. Morano shuts the door. Dean Reynolds has crashed it. That is in turn number 3. We're halfway home. That will likely mean Dean starts from last in our feature. See, on the outside, Cranmer just ran out of real estate. And Dean is on for a wild cartwheel, longer than you think. Dino, my gosh. That was gymnastics. He'd probably get an 8 out of 10 on that just for the way he landed the car, or maybe even a 10. Who knows? Coming to the white flag, 1 to go in Heat 2. Dustin leads. Morano second, Verstraeten third, Bandy fourth. Here's the run for Verstraeten. He slide jobs Morano and takes second for now. Morano throws the crossover on Verstraeten in turn 3 and 4. Bandy wants third. Here they come. Checkers are waving. At the line, it's Morano, then Verstraeten, then Bandy. But it's big money that takes heat race number 2. Moving on to heat race number 3, and I believe our final heat race of the evening. Heat 3 is brought to you by Venom Racing, an official team of the Coast to Coast Racing League. Here's how the lineup looks. The Detective Steven Spees and Cody Graham make up row number 1. Row 2, haven't seen him in a while, Keith Jackson. Next to Brian Dickens, G.J. Boydell starts from 5th. I believe the guy that was supposed to start 2nd had either DQ'd himself, it probably was Jack Hitt, or it was somebody else. Can't recall who. But Jackson will move up to 2nd. Boydell moves up to 4th. It's been a while as well since we've seen Keith Jackson, normally known for racing on the faster tracks. The longer tracks, I should say. Drivers tonight following the Steve King Foundation Pace Truck, formed to help the dirt truck racing community across the country by providing financial assistance to drivers, pit crew members, race officials, track ops personnel, or the immediate families of those individuals who suffer serious illness, injury, or death. Winner starts inside of row number 2 for our 30-lap feature in just a bit.
How you doing tonight, Marty?
Uh-oh, Bassman alert, Bassman alert. What's going on, Roger? How you been?
Not too bad. I just saw you were up here by yourself, and you might be lonely, so I thought I might jump in and say hi for a bit.
Hey, thanks for joining and invading the party, I guess you could say, Roger.
Yes. Speaking of invaders, a big shout out to Dylan Westbrook, who won a big invaders race at Lima Land the other night.
Nice. Good for Dylan. Good for Dylan. Heat 3, meanwhile, underway. Spees and Jackson bring us into turn number 1. Jackson rocks it up right next to the wall. Barely enough room, but sideways to take the lead early. Spees falls down to 2nd. Graham back in 3rd. Boydell stuck up in the 4th spot. Looks to take Graham for 3rd. But it's Keith Jackson who leads lap 1, and we're seeing the cushion already getting dominant, Roger.
Yeah, and Jackson's flying tonight, as he usually is, but looks like this track was custom made for him.
He knows how to win an outdoor. I believe he's won here in the past in the Coast to Coast Racing League on Monday nights. Just posted a 13.50. No one wants to take the risk on the bottom, as that is already slickened up. Race for 2nd brewing here. Cody Graham just posted the fastest lap and starts to close in on Speeds for 2nd, Roger.
Yeah, and looking like these guys are, positioning themselves for the feature. And Boydell would want to pick up a few more spots with them in that big points race.
Cody Graham, if you're watching, I got to tell you something. I recognize that Graham logo really good. Is there a relation? If you're watching this, Cody, at the end, and you got me on Facebook, I want you to text me if that's related to Craig or Brant and Brant Graham, because I work with them when I do the Rush Late Model series. Awesome guys to work with. I'm pretty sure there's a connection there in between, but 2 to go in heat race number 3. Speeds over Jackson for the lead. There goes the Detective, sneaking his way underneath, throws the slide. Job on Jackson. The 13 crisscrosses. White flag, 1 lap to go. Jackson throws the slider back at the Gambler 55, holds on to the lead. Speeds with a run up on the cushion. Jackson tries to throw the slider once again, coming to the checkered flag. Speeds tries to make a move, wheelies it at the checkers and crashes to finish 2nd. Jackson takes the win. What a finish, Roger.
Yeah, that was wild. It was almost like Speeds was shadow racing and trying to drive through Jackson.
That was a fun one there for sure. So again, every driver makes the cut. And so we will have about 16, 17 drivers that will take the green for the feature. This warm-up watch brought to you by the Ohsweken Speedway in Ontario. And Roger, I thought I saw on the lounge a couple weeks ago, either that or it was on the Coast to Coast Facebook page, you shared some updates with the Ohsweken schedule.
Yeah, they've got a great schedule entering their 26th season. They will start a week Friday, will be their opening night. But they have the Canadian Nationals at the end of the year, but mid-season, or actually in August, I guess, mid-August, they got the Pinty Series coming for not 1, but 2 races. I think it's a 75 lap and 100 lap the following night. And of course, and that'll go along with the great sprints and 360s.
I need to consider if it wasn't on Watkins Glen week, I would definitely come out to watch the Penny Series race because I watched that race live. Hang on, Keith Jackson. I watched that race live on TV and also plus. Okay, Keith, I said hang on. Hang on even more. Hang on even more. I'm sorry. This is a wild wreck we just caught randomly on iRacing, but I watched that finish between Stuart Cruise and I forgot who the other guy is. That was cool to watch at the end.
Yeah, it was very cool, and that's I can't remember the exact dates, but it's a Monday and Tuesday, so you know, that makes it possibly doable.
We know what you'll be doing on, I believe, what is it, August 14th and 15th, the Penny Series races?
Yeah, I'll be doing a long drive home from Knoxville and resting up and getting ready for 5 days of craziness. They've also got, it's a 5-day weekend. They got I think the sprint cars on the Friday night. They've got their micros on Saturday, and on Sunday they've got dirt bikes racing on the track. It's a Canadian track. I can't remember the name of the association, but that's pretty wild as well.
Absolutely.
So you had yourself a pretty wild weekend last week.
Yes, I did. Dover was a blast. Appreciate the support on that. I tuned into Super Dirt Week at the hotel Thursday night when I got back from Grotto Pizza Thursday night. And yeah, just what a weekend it was. Some great racing, and happy to see the Truexes sweep the weekend at their home track.
Yeah, and there's some great interviews too, buddy. You did a great job there.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Next NASCAR race I plan on being at is New Hampshire. And so I definitely look forward to that, especially when they got the Whelen Modified Tour as the undercard to NASCAR, one of the undercards to NASCAR, because they got Xfinity too. So, all right, let's meet the field here. The Super Dirt Car Series starting lineup. On the front row, it's 100 grand. Joseph Grandy, your points leader in the 518. Next to Dustin Big Money Sargent in the 77. Row number 2, Keith Jackson in the 113, and Jeff Fitzpatrick second in points in the 90. Row number 3, Anthony Morano in the 32, and the detective Steven Spees in the 55. Row 4, Greg Parmalee in the 4, and Trent Verstraeten in the 088. Round out your top 10, Cody Graham in the 2 and Joe Backus in the 46. Row 6 is the Bandy-Built Master, Jesse Bandy in the 57, and G.J. Boydell in the 014. Row number 7, it's Rich Holland in the 116 and Mike Cranmer in the 70. Row number 8, Brian Dickens in the 122 and John Krupa in the 98. Rounding out your field this evening, Dean Reynolds in the 79 and Steve Maurer in the 888. 18 drivers, Roger. Real quick, actually, Super Dirt Car Series, bummer to see their race postponed last night at Orange County Fair Speedway. Next race, Memorial Day weekend on Sunday at Weedsport. All right, Roger. 18 drivers. I want to know, who do you got winning this one?
I got to go with Keith Jackson. He shows up. He always puts on a show. But you know, we've got the standing with Grandy, Fitzpatrick, Boydell, and Dustin Sargent. And you can't rule out Jesse Bandy. They're all, you know, there's only a few weeks left, so every point is important at this point.
Grandy and Fitzpatrick have combined for 5 wins this season. Keith Jackson only with 2 starts. Best finished second that came at Lernerville earlier on the year. Dustin Sargent, 4th in standings coming in the Raiders. He's your points leader in the Raiders, 4th in standings in the Rebels. Well, we are set to go here. It's the Lucy Olson start. We're glad you could join us. It's bugle time. Grandy leads the field off turn number 2. Dustin Sargent moves up to second. Jackson 3 wide. Fitzpatrick in the middle. Morano looks to go 2 for 1. He cuts it back, but it's Grandy that leads lap 1. Roger, the battle is on for 4th.
Yeah, it looks like Grandy's a little anxious to keep that the point standings there, because he may have left a little bit early on that start.
Fitzpatrick tries to crisscross. Inside he goes for the 4th position and takes it away from Steven Spees. Dustin Sargent, quickest driver last time by. His 200's better. You see him work a higher line compared to Joseph Grandy. See if he can close in just a bit. 3 laps in the books. Grandy continues to command the troops at bay. 0.2 of a second is the gap. Dustin's got a hot rod. He's closing in pretty good on Grandy. Look at this. He's right there on the tail tank.
Dustin's always fast.
Grandy nearly clips the wall off turn number 2. Both the drivers hanging on to their 360 sprint cars like they're laying their lives on the line. Sargent fakes high. He goes low for the lead. Grandy leads at the stripe. Roger Ed's slide job. Sargent goes to the point.
That's a beautiful slide job, take that lead, that's for sure.
Grandy tries to crisscross it back, doesn't have enough distance to move up and try and slide back. Sargent takes the lead away after a quick lap. 14:18, the quickest lap of the race. And now Big Money tries to pull away from Grandy, who slaps the wall. Let's check out the racing on back. It's, I guess you could say, a smorgasbord from 4th on back. Fitzpatrick, Speeds, Morano, Verstraeten, Bandy, Graham, all in a single file line, nose to tail. One just being patient in this line here, Roger.
No, and the top three are starting to pull away, so I'm sure a few will be looking for a caution that are chasing them down.
Cody Graham with a slider on Jesse Bandy. He takes away the 8th spot. But yeah, you saw the drivers as well for a couple moments. Fanned out 2 and 3 wide. Almost thought Wreck was going to break out. You see Fitzpatrick, not sure about that lower line, Roger. Just trying to clear up on speeds and shut the door in his face so he can let off.
Yeah, it seems like it's the high line is still holding up, so it'll be, hopefully it'll, the second lane will open up soon.
Oh, one up in the wall, that's Cody Graham. Oh, huge wreck. That's Boydell. 3rd in points coming in up and over. Backus avoids, yellow flag.
Yeah, Boydell coughed up a wing there.
He came in 3rd in the standings coming in. If you count the drops, he was 66 points back. And GJ's worst finish of the year is 22nd. His second worst is 14th, but luckily he can use a quick repair, Roger, as we show the Malcolm's replay.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I heard Cody did apologize across race channel.
Ah, yeah. When Cody hit the wall, his car was just slow off the track. Oh, Backus did get a piece of it with the right rear Hoosier. Let's ride on board here. As we're under our first Salty Dogs yellow of the day. Bam! And he was coming to the high side. There was nothing he could do about it.
No, it's too bad. This is the caution a lot of the guys wanted. We still got 2/3 of the race left here.
So Boydell uses the quick repair. He'll drop to the back. Everyone's still on the lead lap though, Roger. So off to a fun start here at the moment.
Yeah, and that's cool to see when everybody can stay on that lead lap because, you know, you're never really out of it because sometimes it's some kind of chaos at the end there.
We'll go double file here this time for this restart. Biggest mover of the race so far is Brian Dickens in the 122. He is up 6 positions. Let's reset the field here for the Mission 22 restart. Row number 1, Justin Sargent and Joseph Grandy. Row number 2, Keith Jackson, Jeff Fitzpatrick. Row 3, Steven Spees, Anthony Morano. Row 4, Trent Verstraeten and Jesse Bandy. And row 5, Brian Dickens and, just confirming here, Mike Cranmer. Dustin the control car as we get set to go back to green. 11 in the books.
I'm still sticking with Jackson, by the way. As this race develops, looks like he's testing that low line.
He's one that's always been known for a long run car in the past. As they're 3 wide for 4th on back. They could go 4 wide momentarily. As Fitzpatrick and Morano have a fun race for the 6th position. But Jackson looking inside on the 518 for 2nd spot. Morano still stuck up in the middle.
Looks like that low line coming in.
Absolutely near contact between the 32 and the 90 for 6th position. And it's holding back drivers like Jesse Bandy, who barely finds a lane. He's up 4 positions. Fitzpatrick and Dickens touch, and Fitzpatrick's in a whole lot of trouble. He was 2nd or 3rd at one point. He's nearly out of the top 10.
Yes, I think you're going to start seeing a bit of movement now as this track slips off.
Absolutely. Let's go to another good battle on the racetrack as Dustin Sargent. Oh, Dustin caught the wall there. on the outside. Grandy still hangs on to second. Over Keith Jackson. Speeds is loose. What a save. Here's Verstraeten as he takes a shot underneath. So take away that 4th spot, Roger.
That's great. So, you know, there's so many good guys in this division. It's just it's the hottest it's ever been. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Everyone playing cautious at the moment. A lot of drivers with a big gap on each other. 3 wide, 1 driver up in the middle, and that's Cody Graham, nearly 4 wide. This time, Dino's in the middle with Graham to the inside. Backus nearly makes contact. That is tight. That is tight. So many drivers lose in the back of the pack, but they save it.
I noticed Jackson's moved back up again. He lost some ground to those guys.
Let's go back.
Let's go back
to the race for 4th spot. Steven Spees against Trent Verstraeten. Jesse Bandy looks to join the picture. Who's up 5 spots to drop the green flag. 11 laps to go. This time by, it'll be 10 from Barney. Oh, Sargent lost a lot of time. I think he may have caught the wall for just a moment, but he's got 10 laps remaining, Roger, to hang on, looking for win 1 of the year in the Rebels.
It's going to get interesting because that top line's getting thinner and thinner.
Absolutely. That cushion's not thick anymore. All the drivers are using every piece of real estate up here at Tony Stewart's dirt track. 9 laps to go. We continue to watch, which is now a race for 3rd. It's both Speeds and Verstraeten have each closed in on Trent Verstraeten. We've got a fun one here for this bottom step of the podium.
Yeah, that's where that's the big race right now for that P3 spot.
And keep in mind, if Jesse Bandy closes in, we've got a race for what would be a transfer spot, a ticket into Renegades, because the top 5 transfer in.
And
Jackson loses 2. Jackson just lost 2 spots there at the line, so if a caution were to fly, he'd fall back to 5th. Inside for 4th on Trent Verstraeten as he looks to take the spot away. That low line's just not working for him like it would with Brennan Lacey. He's back in 5th with 6 laps to go. Verstraeten catches the wall. He rides it, tries to pull a Chastain, and he falls back to 5th. Bandy tries to close in for that final spot in the top 5, Roger.
It's anybody's race here for that 5th position right now.
Absolutely. 5 laps to go. Dustin Sargent, 0.7 of a second lead. He's kept it consistent on Joseph Grandy. No lap traffic. Boydell spotted. Yellow flag is out. Grandy gets a piece of it too. Just a thin piece of it, as he thought there was a lane, but he could. Oh, okay.
Who was that spun out there?
That was G.J. Boydell for the 2nd time.
Kudos to GJ because he held his position because the leaders were all coming down on him. Some were going high, some were going low. So kudos to him holding his position there.
See what happened. Did he get sideways by himself? Nope. Ooh, wheel-to-wheel contact from Backus, and around went the 014. Luckily, he did not flip the car. Man, how close Grandy got. We're going to show you GJ's on board. And then we're going to show you Joseph Grandy and maybe a second on board too. Just rear wheel to rear wheel contact. If that's front to rear, Boydell's probably flipping.
Yes, somebody made contact there as he went by.
That was Joseph Grandy. Let's show you this. He thought he just had a lane, just clips the tail tank, but I don't think, Roger, there's too much damage on the 518, so I think Grandy's still going to have a shot here.
Gonna make for a good finish now.
But we know this for sure. He would extend the points lead if things were to stand. Jeff Fitzpatrick currently scored in the 11th position, and his 2 worst finishes of the year, 13th and 12th. So this would count against Fitzpatrick if he were to finish in 11th spot. So a big points night for Joseph Grandy if he can finish up near the front. Here we come back to green, single file. The rest of this one, 4 laps to go. Good restart from Speeds compared to Grandy. He looks up on the cushion for 2nd. Nearly 3 wide for 4th. Here comes Anthony Morano out of nowhere as Jackson rides the wall right in front of Bandy. The 57 had some damage and nearly crowds Brian Dickens. Caution is out.
Caution.
I believe it's for Joe Backus and maybe Dean Reynolds. And the deep breaths continue for right now because everyone's going to hold on to them when we take the green flag once again. Here's what happened to Dino. Oh, nowhere to go. Graham caught back as Reynolds took a very hard shot. Like he had no brakes on that 790.
This finish, if you can finish it out, will bode well for Dustin Sargent in the point standings. That's for sure.
So he could increase it. Yeah, he just did not see that coming one bit. And up and over goes Dean. Loses the top wing like a chicken with his head cut off.
Hey, Marty, this is John Hine.
What's
How
going
are you?
on, Professor?
Look at the left front tire of Grandy.
All right,
Look
he's
at
giving
the
us...
angle look at the angle.
Oh,
it's pointing
yeah,
at.
great point. That was from the contact with Boydell. It's towed in. Wow. Great. Great point there, John. So this could be interesting. He only has 2 laps to work here when we come back to the green flag, so it's not a lot of time. He could hold on to a top 5 spot possibly. Meanwhile, in all of this, we didn't talk about this yet. Morano did take 5th from Jackson at the last completed green flag lap, so he has a transfer spot at the moment, so that's pretty cool. And again, all that is pending IO.
And this finish here with what do we got? Is this a green-white checker?
2 laps to go. It's green-white checkered, but not in overtime. Mission 22 restart. Big money looking for win 1 of the year in the Rebels. We're green. Rides the wall once again. Let's watch Grandy closely with the way that left front is inserted, whatever you want to say. Up top he goes. Speeds in 3rd. Tries to close in on Grandy. White is out. 1 to go here at the Big E. Dustin's going to close in just a bit on Joseph Grandy's points lead, but a big night for the 518. Morano, I think he just He's back in. Dustin Sargent takes the checkers. He wins at Eldora. First Rebel win of the season for big money. And folks, you know what that is as well? Soup night for Dustin Sargent. He goes from C to A.
And with that, I gotta strap in for this Renegades race, and I'm gonna pass the secondary seat over to the professor.
All right,
Good
Roger,
Yeah,
have
and
fun.
I apologize too. I would have been here a little sooner, but St. Louis traffic with a bunch of construction sometimes doesn't cooperate very well.
Understandable. Roger, best of luck tonight, man. Hopefully we'll see you on the podium.
I always need luck just to make the feature, buddy. Thanks, though. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man. All right, top 3 on the podium. Let's give you your Hard Charger Award, brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. And gain the bonus points. Brian Dickens up 6 spots from 15th to 9th. There's a good idea of how much track was used there. Look at that. Look how weird that looks. That is what was the cushion, and you can't even see it. All right, we've got your top 3 in. And we'll begin with our 3rd place finisher in Steven Spees. Steven, a fun one. Positives you take away from tonight?
I ended on the podium. That's always positive.
Absolutely, that's true. Walk us through the race, though, from your perspective.
It was typical iRacing Eldora, right? It looked like some of the guys were able to make low and mid work, but by and large, it was keep that foot down as much as you can, put the right rear up on the wall, and just kind of let it eat and try not to bounce off the wall. So it took me a while and kind of got the hang of it. I think I missed on the gearing a little bit. So I think we got a couple of things we can change and jump into this Renegades race and see what we got there.
That long run, how much fun was that racing Trent and Keith?
Well, I guess I'll say it was fun, but I wanted to just get in the top 5, and I know I was kind of there in 4th and 5th on the pole for a long time. That's not fun. I want to be up where I'm comfortably in and let those other guys race. But yeah, anytime you get a long run and people are racing clean, it's great.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
No shout outs. I did it all myself tonight. I'm very proud of myself, pat myself on the back, and we'll look forward to the Renegades.
Patting on the back right now, Steven. We'll let you go. Great job. Good luck in the Renegades.
Thanks, Marty.
That's the detective Steven Spies, our 3rd place finisher. Let's go to 2nd place finisher Joseph Grandy.
Oh.
Joseph, a tough one there. Trying to get Dustin Sargent. First question I have though is the contact with GJ Boydell coming to the yellow. Were you aware? Did somebody tell you that your left front was dented?
I knew it was. That's why when the yellow came out, I got kind of nervous. I figured I was going to lose a podium there, but it didn't really affect my steering a whole lot because I was trying to run the top. That's why after I did that, instead of just coming straight into the top, I pulled the slider to make sure I can come in all right and not just run into the wall. But, should have went to the top sooner. I knew Dustin was catching me up there. Even though I run a mirror, I won't mirror drive. So I'll let him, let him run his line. I run my line. And if he gets past me, then I'll go where he's going.
Absolutely. Second question I have for you is, you're probably aware of where Fitzpatrick finished in 10th, and he's got to take those points. How important is this week for you here to extend that points lead?
I guess every week's pretty important. About that, I want to apologize about that heat race, even though it was net code, but we would have had a good race there, and it sucked it had to go like that.
Definitely understandable. Well, Joseph, a good run for you. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Catalytic Recovery, West End Towing and Repair, all the guys over at Training Wheels Racing. I didn't see Dittmer today. I'm not sure what he was up to.
His car's still for sale last time I looked at his paint scheme.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Marty, for doing the broadcast, and Coast to Coast, all their sponsors, and all the guys behind the scenes.
All right, man. We'll let you go.
Oh,
Great
wait,
job. Yeah, go
my
ahead.
girlfriend Olivia, too.
Yes. You can't forget the girlfriend. You can't forget the special someone. All right, man. We'll let
Thanks,
you go.
Marty.
Great job. Joseph Grandy, our 2nd place finisher. Time to go to Extreme E-Speed TV Victory Lane to talk with the man that's doing soup. He's having some soup tonight. From C to A, Dustin Sargent. Big money. Well done on that one. How important was getting to that high side as early as possible?
I knew that the top was going to be the place to be, and Joseph raced me clean. He left the line there for me. He could have moved up and pulled a block, but he didn't. He gave me the line, and that's about all she wrote.
I think I saw you at a couple points in the race. I think it was in that long run when that cushion was starting to fade away. You caught the wall a couple of times. Thought for a moment you were going to lose a bunch of time to Grandy.
It was getting treacherous up there. Definitely got thin. That there wasn't much cushion left, and the few times I did get into the wall, I was fortunate enough that it didn't break too much momentum.
Gotcha. What was your thought as well when we had those back-to-back yellows?
Oh boy, they usually get me. It's Eldora. It's it's staying smooth, and it's a momentum-based track, and I just stayed relaxed and stayed focused and just put the pedal to the metal, man.
Overall, though, what'd you learn from this one that you can take over to Renegades later tonight?
Go fast, turn left.
Absolutely. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Give a shout out to Premier Racing Setups. They gave me a dynamite setup tonight. Car was on rails, fast as you've seen. So big shout out to those guys.
All right, man. We'll let you go. Congratulations. Best of luck in the A division.
Sounds smart. Yep.
Dustin Sargent is your winner. He is in Extreme E-Speed TV Victory Lane. Take a look at your official results here. From tonight, Justin Sargent, the winner. Joseph Grandy, 2nd. Steven Spies in 3rd. Trent Verstraete in 4th, Anthony Morano in 5th. Those are the five drivers that are eligible to transfer pending IL. 6th belongs to Jesse Bandy, 7th Keith Jackson, 8th Cody Graham, 9th Brian Dickens, and 10th Jeff Fitzpatrick. 11th Mike Cranmer, 12th Joe Backus, 13th John Krupa, 14th Greg Parmer-Lee, 15th Steve Maurer, 16th Dean Reynolds, 17th G.J. Boydell, and 18th Rich Holland. Again, another thing to mention too, Brian Dickens is your biggest mover of the race, so he'll get a couple bonus points out of that. Get you your point standings here in a couple seconds. Just point them all in. We'll give you your top 4 here, or your top 5 correction. But we can tell you this: big Dustin Sargent moves up to 3rd in the standings, and G.J. Boydell drops a spot with the 2 incidents he had this evening. Let's get you back to the live feed here, and then we'll show them to you. And these are the standings that are updated with the drops. Big points lead now for Joseph Grandi. This was a huge race that he used to take advantage of. 538 to 479, John, on Jeff Fitzpatrick. And Dustin Sargent breathing for that 2nd spot all over the Fitzperfect photography machine.
Well, I don't remember who it was, but they said it in their interview. Every week is important.
That was Grandi.
Every spot's important. Yep, every spot's important. This is gonna come down to the final week. This will be exciting.
Absolutely. The sun setting here at Eldora Speedway. Will be under the lights in just a moment when the Renegades take shape in about 15 minutes from now on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
Before they go fast and start the power slide, we salute you with the big blocks 4 wide. The crowd-pounding, earth-shaking, window-rattling beast of the Northeast. It's the Big Block Butterfly Super Dirt Car Series.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olson, talented sophomore.
go fast and start to power slide. We salute you with the big blocks 4 wide. The crowd-pounding, earth-shaking, window-rattling beast of the Northeast. It's the Big Block Butterfly Super Dirt Car Series.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
Yeah, Lucy Olson, talented sophomore.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We're getting set to go for the A Division Renegades, and the Renegades are brought to you by Dylan Westbrook Racing. Glad you could join us, Marty Sakala, alongside the Professor John Hine with us here this evening. John, you and I were having fun under the break. We've been trying to search for we've been doing the Dale Jr. Steve Myers scavenger hunt at Eldora in iRacing. I cannot even find them one dang bit.
Nope, me neither. The only thing I was able to find is the Tunnel of Love, and my wife's not here, and well, they took my hard card this week, so I couldn't go through the tunnel if I wanted to.
Oh yeah, let's show them. Let's show them that while we at it. Let's go through. We've got the drone set up here. Let's show you this Tunnel of Love. No, don't know if anyone's seen this here in iRacing, but
And this is how it really is in life. iRacing didn't just put this in here.
the
to
Eddie
be cheeky.
Gossage
Yes.
Love Tunnel, and you can actually go under it, although it's blocked by wood, and then you can ramp up and stuff like that. So pretty cool. Definitely recommend checking it out sometime. But ready to go at Eldora. Let's talk about the points coming in. The man everyone's talking about who could be the favorite to win at Eldora this evening is Patrick Spangler. 25-point lead with drops on Blake Chapman at the moment.
Yeah, Patrick's had a really strong start to the season here, and we're getting down to it now where guys are going to start looking at those points, and these draws in these heat races as they're coming in now going to be real important tonight.
Absolutely. We're geared up for heat race number 1. Show you the rest of the top 5. Patrick Spangler leads by 25 on Blake Chapman. Ross Corona 39 back. Chad Cote 52 back. And John Short 64 back. Just got about 26 drivers, if not 27, that will be racing with us this evening. With that being said, here's a look at your starting lineup. Joseph Grandy, 100 grand's on the pole next to the salesman Blake Chapman. Row number 2 is Bob DeGood, and next to Bob should be Chad Cote. We have not seen Kelly Wheeler at all, and Kelly should be in the Raiders, I believe. Kelly's just watching. Yes, that is the case. So Cote moves up to the outside of row number 4. 2 drivers starting from the back in Jeff Kemper and gentleman Jack Head. Eight-lap heat races, top 4 will transfer. Everyone else will go to the B main for a last chance showdown. Feature tonight, 35 laps around the Big E. And of course, heat race number 1 brought to you by our friends at Flatline Racing Bodies. John, what are you looking forward to in this one?
Speed. Just out and out speed. This is one of those tracks where you stand on it and you steer the car, and no matter how slick it gets, no matter what's going on, you're always trying to maximize that speed.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how the high side will go in, because remember, whenever we reset the track before heats, Renegades, it's 5% increase over Rebels, so just keep that in mind for the folks at home. Winner of this one starts on pole position, Chapman and Grandy. Here we go. Grandy with the early nod in 1 and 2, but shaking the car just a bit allows Chapman to keep it side by side down the back chute. Cote right behind in the 3rd position. Grandy clears Chapman, leads lap 1. Kemper is slideways and saves it for right now, but we're focused on the lead, John.
Yeah, Bob DeGood lost the back a little bit and walked down the track, and slight contact, but both guys are able to carry on here. And Bob is holding down that final transfer spot. We are going to send some guys home here tonight.
He's trying to close in on Cote and Chapman for that third or second position. Cote with a run up on that cushion on Chapman for second as he ride on board. Now tries to take a peek underneath. That low line's the place where you want to be in the heat races early, but when we get to the feature, obviously, John, you want to be up high.
Absolutely. That middle is really, really quick here in the heat races. But yeah, they're slowly going to start walking up to that outside wall.
And Blake got a little bit sideways in turn 2. Kept his foot on the gas, hangs on to the second position. Bobby Good still in 4th with 3 laps to go. And Kemper battling for 5th. That's what the Good wants to see in the back of that virtual rear view mirror. But it's still Joseph Grant leading the way with 2 to go, John.
Yeah, but the battle now is for the battle behind the Good, and that's really allowing him to hang on. But they have closed right up to the back of Bob here for that 4th spot with 1 lap to go.
We're going to watch this very closely for the final transfer spot. By Hit caught the wall. That may be what the Good needs, but the Good slows up just a little bit. Hit may have a chance through 3 and 4. Tries to dive it off the corner to the line, but the Good hangs on. Bob the Good's in the feature. Hit and Kemper will it be in the last chance showdown. But Joseph Grady wins heat race number 1. Let's go to our photo finish cam, and we're going to watch that final lap. Real quick, our photo finish cam is set up here. And we will increase the field of view. I believe this is good enough here. Right there. Just by about a door. About an imaginary door. So well done by the guys. So now you see the fields lined up for Heat 2. They roll off, brought to you by Langdon Mechanical. Lineup for Heat 2 looks like this. The Macho Man, Tyler Wilson, on pole position. Next to Big Money, Dustin Sargent. Row number 2 is the captain, Gary Taylor in the 34. Next to the Port Royal winner, I still love saying that, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis in the 161. Row number 3, the Bass Man, Roger Craig, and the stun for moving into the Renegades, Anthony Morano in the 32. Trent Verstraeten starts from 7th in the 88. Let's know who you're rooting for in chat. It's been quite a lot throughout the day. Guys, I'm back. I love to interact with you guys in the chat. Let's know who you're rooting for. Dean says that this is so much fun. I believe he is referring to the Longhorns. I know what he's referring to, but we like to.
Is he having an adult beverage?
I believe he actually has another commitment tonight, so.
Ah, okay.
But there is probably an adult beverage involved as well. So, but again, winner starts outside front row next to Joseph Grandy. Top 4 move on to the feature for 35 laps. Here we go, the green's out. Nice start for Tyler Wilson off turn 2. Oh, look out, Landis in the wall. He ramped up the wheel of Gary Taylor. That puts him all the way back into 7th spot. Side by side for the lead. Sargent wants to go to the point, but Wilson says not so fast yet, John.
Yeah, I could see that coming because they were kind of dicing, changing lanes. Going down that backstretch, everybody was. And man, that is just a dangerous game to play.
Look at this race from 3rd on back. Gary Taylor, Roger Craig, Anthony Morano. Morano may look to go 2 for 1, but he's eyeing a transfer spot at the moment on the pass map. Here goes the race for the lead once again. Big money on Wilson, but can't make the pass work. Wild race now for 3rd as they're all over Roger, all over Gary Taylor. Craig looks to go on the outside. Morano and Craig look to split the captain, but it's a pair of salty dogs side by side for third Professor.
It is, and Roger's really making that top side. We talked about it a little while ago about the middle, but look where these boys are running now.
Please don't let anybody make a mistake. This is so much fun to watch. Craig in 3rd, Taylor 4th. Verstraeten on the outside for the final transfer spot. He started last via the pill draw. Oh, he clips the wall. Taylor, though, got sideways off in turn 2. Advantage for Verstraeten as he looks for 3rd on Roger Craig. 1 lap to go, though. Still Tyler Wilson out in front. 0.2 a second the gap. Dustin Sargent may have a run in turn 3 for the second starting spot here at Eldora, off for 4. Wilson takes it for 4th. Roger Craig beats out Gary Taylor. Verstraeten edges out Craig for 3rd.
Now, Marty, real quick, just to give everybody an idea of how competitive this Renegades. The guy that just won in the Rebels, didn't he's now in the B feature here. He didn't even make it through his heat.
It's unbelievable. And so now we move on to Heat 3, brought to you by Venom Racing. Here's a look at your starting lineup. Barry Goldner and Superman Kurt Schatzer lineup on the front row. Row number 2, Randy Shreves and the boss, Ross Corinna. Row 3, the Ayla Outlaw, Preston Kramer and Brandon Templeton, the 31. The 200 of Jeff Flaro starts 7th. So you were saying the Rebels winner?
What, didn't Morano win the Rebels race?
No.
Or, no, he came in second or third or something like that. He
Morano
transferred,
finished
didn't he?
5th, yes.
Yeah.
Let me make sure what you were saying there for a moment.
Yep, absolutely. Still flustered from the traffic jam, but nonetheless, a top 5 run there and not even qualifying, through your heat here, that's a big difference. And this guy's, been through the soup, so he's been quick all night.
Can tell it's the traffic jam here in Eldora as well. Standing room only with the Coast to Coast Racing League coming into town. And now we're ready for heat race number 3.
This should be a good one. There's a lot of talent in this race.
Oh, yes, absolutely, without question.
Then again, you could say that about all of them.
Oh, yes, you can. Every driver has a good reason why they are here at this point. Heat 3 underway. Goldner a good start. Flaro, though, underneath. Looks to go 2 for 1 on lap 1, which he does. Gets past Templeton and Preston Cranmer. Barry Goldner, though, leads it. Jeff Schatzer second. How about this start from Jeff Flaro? He's already up 3 positions at the end of 1 lap. This is insanity.
Yeah, not only 3 positions, but he did it hugging the inside wall.
Absolutely. Taking a look for the Young Gun
Oh,
Creations
contact.
drone. Look out, that's Randy Shreves up in the wall. Nice save. But nope, that car is dented up. He's going to the B main. Race for the lead though. Kurt Schatzer, Ross Corinna. Barry Goldner lost a plethora of spots. He's back to 6, but it's a 4-car smorgasbord for the top spot here, John.
Yeah, and the 36 there, Goldner, he got into the wall, and that's how he lost all those spots.
Woo!
But, man, Flaro is tank slapping.
That was
all over
that
the
was a
place.
netco tank slap there for sure as he crisscrosses Kurt Schatzer. He wants that heat win badly, I think, here, John.
Yeah, he's driving like a man possessed, that's for sure, and he's gotten himself from the back to second.
It's a 3-car race for second. It's Flaro's not able to pull away from Schatzer just yet. Coming to 2 to go in heat race number 3. Schatzer stuck on the outside. Templeton challenges for 3rd. It's all Ross Corinna at this moment from lap 3 onwards. 0.4 of a second lead on the Canadian Jeff Flaro. 1 lap to go. It'll be Corinna, Flaro, Schatzer, and Templeton. Your 4 transfers. Templeton as 1.8 seconds ahead of Barry Goldner. Coming to the checkers. Corinna wins. Flaro 2nd, Templeton 3rd, and Schatzer 4th.
Boy, another great heat race. I think that makes us 3 for 3 here in the Renegades.
And now we go into heat race number 4. Heat 4 brought to you by Maurer Farm Management, the official sponsor of the Retreads division. The Brute to Beast, Jeff Barker, on the front row next to Kyle Sargent. Row number 2 is the Detective Steven Spees and Devo and Donovan Ross. Row number 3, Shorty John Short, and gonna be a tough test for the high side, Banger Patrick Spangler. The worst pill draw of everyone here.
Yeah, but he's going to get a break. It looks like the guy on the outside front row there, Sargent, has an EOL, so that's going to put Spangler on the outside of the 2nd row here. Which is a transfer position, too.
Yes, it is. Let's have some fun here for the heck of it. How many laps do you think it'll take Spangler get to the front?
I don't know. Short's up there, and Spees is there. I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. If he gets there, we'll go with 4 or 5. 4.
All right.
We'll go 4.
All right. I will bet the under. Top 4 transfer in. 6 drivers in this heat. Short takes a peek underneath off of turn 2. But Barker hangs on to the lead. Spangler caught up in a lot of traffic. Look at that. Speed's just about crowded him to the outside. He picks up a spot there. Lap 1 in the books led by Barker. But Devo's got a heck of a run off turn 2. Barker hanging on, John. But Ross has a big run.
Yeah, if Patrick doesn't make his run here,
Whoa!
you may owe me a beer in Knoxville, since that's what we're talking about our bets. Oh no!
2 for
No!
1. You owe me a beer at Knoxville, baby. Heineken NA. Make that happen. 13:79 last lap for Spangler, the quickest lap by far. Now we watch the race for second on back. Barker with the final transfer spot for now. Short with the run up on the top. Oh, he stains it. Same with Speeds. Hang on there. That's close.
Boy, these battles for the transfer position tonight have just been insane.
One of these drivers in this group of 4 will have to go to the B main. And we'll start 4th in that B main. Keep that in mind. And we're taking 8 drivers out of that B main. Just shows you how fast they're going. Speeds with the final spot. Jeff Barker loses some ground. Kyle Sargent all over him. Final laps underway. Patrick Spangler has checked down the hotel. Oh, he's out of field though. He may be out of field. Nope, he picks it back up. He wins Heat 4. I saw the gap drop down big time from like 0.6 to 0.3. I thought he was out of fuel. I think he's just toying with us.
Yeah, he took a different line through 3 and 4 what he had been, so that's probably what actually did it.
Time for your B main. The B main is brought to you by Gambler Motorsports, the official team of the Coast to Coast Racing League. Row number 1 is Gentleman Jack Hitt and the captain in Gary Taylor. Row 2 is Barry Goldner and the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. Row 3 is Jeff Kemper and Anthony Morano. Row 4, the Ayla Outlaw, Preston Cranmer and Kyle Sargent. Row number 5, we'll have 5 rows in this. Randy Shreves in the 56 and the Desert Demon, Terry Landis in the 161. So 2 drivers will go home. We're going to focus on the driver that is in the 8th position after lap 1. But, John, we've seen it all season long and probably for the past 12 weeks or so since we began the 2023 year. But the B mains are just always outstanding no matter what.
It is, and it's the level of talent we have in here. I mean, we got Terry Landis on the back of this. We just saw him this season park in victory lane. Randy Shreves is always, a possible that he can park in victory lane. You go right down the list here: Barker, Kemper, Cranmer. I mean, Hitt. There's a lot of good guys that are in here scrounging for those 8 spots.
Beautiful sunset at the Eldora Speedway. Somebody tagged Dean in that, racetracks and sunsets. Here we go for the green. 10-lap shootout in this B main. Nice jump for Jack Hitt off of turn number 2. Taylor second. Kemper wants third on Barry Goldner. Barker with a huge head of steam. Although he's dropped a spot. Kemper the biggest winner in that. Anthony Morano started in 10th. He's up to, yes, he started in the 9th spot rather. He's up to 8th as the final transfer spot, but 3 drivers go around. Who's getting out of this? Shreve's up and over. Kemper up and over. They're both out of it. Murano escapes danger, but his car's in trouble. He's got no steering in it. He just needs to go for like 1 more lap or so. Look at that right front. With the left front too. And he's bringing it to the pits to use a quick repair and get back out. Shreves though back out on the track. Now we've got a race for 8. Murano gets back out. Shreves is off of turn 4. Murano back out. Here we go. Shreves has the horsepower off of turn 2. And they're side by side for 8th, John.
Unbelievable.
Who saw that coming? And Shreves takes the 8th spot.
Yeah, whoever had flipping and still making the A on their bingo card better be hollering out bingo before this night's out.
He was 11th in standings coming on in. It would be a heartbreak if he didn't make the feature. But Murano's still chasing after him. It's a one-on-one shootout. Jeff Kemper back out on the track, but he's just about a lap behind Randy Shreves. 3 laps to go.
Yeah, I went back and I looked at that, and yeah, that was an ugly, ugly incident with several guys getting upside down. Started though with the contact with the 34 washing up the track and getting into the 181, and it was just on from there.
Murano running out of time. The white flag is out. 1 lap to go for these drivers. Murano with a nice run off turn 4. He's going to have a chance here underneath the final transfer spot. Nearly clips the inside wall. Shreves gets the drive off of turn 2. Who's going to race for 35 laps tonight? Murano or Shreves off of turn 4. Coming to the wire. Randy Shreves makes it in. And one of the most fun one-on-one shootouts you'll ever see to make a feature. John, I'm going to ask it. Have you ever?
I have not. Incredible. Just like I said, having a car on your bingo card saying flipping it, but yet making the feature, man. You know, I'm going to be honest with you, Shreves. Randy, if you listen to this, you need to buy a lottery ticket.
Yes, play the Mega Millions next time, or the Powerball, whatever they have in his state. It's whatever it is. So let's show you as well what happened. It was a 3-wide situation. Murano caught up in the middle, and he runs into Barry Goldner. And there was actually a separate wreck that happened too.
Yeah, it's the first one between
Kemper and Taylor had
81.
touched, and a great save for Gary Taylor too.
Yeah, Gary had walked up the track. I don't know if he didn't know if Jeff was out there or what, but it was just enough to really put Jeff in a bad spot there, and they just piled in there after that.
Now, what gave Shreves as well a huge advantage is that Shreves as well pitted first. Shreves was on all 4 wheels. So both of them pitted, used the quick repair. That was brilliant. That was genius. That's what that was.
Yeah. That's called awareness.
Ooh, Templeton taking a ride. Ooh, look at that ride for Brandon. Now that's a cartwheel, folks. Oh, Barry Goldner gets him. Preston Kramer gets Barry.
You know, the end of that Rebels race, you know, we were talking about how thin and sketchy it was getting around the top. I'm looking here, and they're going to start this race with about the same track conditions as the Rebels finished the race in.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the cushion cam. I think that was in turns 3 and 4. Can't even see it anymore.
party. They just flagged it. That means we're going to go and race. And
Oh,
every
boy.
time these guys have gotten on the track.
Oh, boy. We're about to have a treat, folks. On
I
behalf,
hope you eat your Wheaties for this one.
on behalf of Extreme E-Speed TV, the Coast to Coast Racing League, and all the fine drivers and sponsors, we thank you so much for choosing to spend your Monday night with us. It's now time to meet the field of 24 ready to take the green for 30 laps at the Eldora Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the Super Dirt Car Series starting lineup. On the front row, it's 100 grand, Joseph Grandy in the 518 and Tyler Wilson, the Macho Man, in the 42. Row number 2, Ross the Boss Corinna in the 10, and the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39. Row 3, the salesman, Blake Chapman in the 20, and big money, Dustin Sargent in the 77. Row number 4 is the Jeff Flero in the 200, and Shorty, John Shore in the 51. Row 5 is the Goose, Chad Cote in the 11, and Trent Verstraeten in the 88. Row 6, Brandon Templeton in the 31, and Steven Spees in the 55. Second half of the grid, Bobby Good in the 7. Roger Craig in the 747, the Bassman. Kurt Schatzer, Superman, the 218. Devo, Donovan Ross in the 5. Kyle Sargent, the 91. Gentleman Jack Hitt in the 217. The captain, Gary Taylor in the 34. The Ayla Outlaw, Preston Kramer in the 07. The Brew to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Barry Goldner in the 36. The Desert Demon, Terry Landis in the 161. And Randy Trace in the 56. John, time for your pick to win. Who's it going to be?
Oh, man. So who do I want to curse is what you're asking.
Yes.
You know what? I'm going to go way out on a limb here and take Spangler.
All right. Give me Joseph Grandy to get it done. I think he's going to learn from what happened in the Rebels feature. Could get up high as soon as possible and give him the win. But we're going to see what happens. 24 cages of cold metal with hot rubber at the corners are about to do battle for 35 laps. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now, from coast to coast? We're at the Big E. Grandy and Wilson, bring us to green, a pair of training wheel cars. It's showtime at Eldora. 4 wide, maybe 5 wide, and it's not going to end pretty for now. Schatzer sideways, Barker sideways. Caution is out already. What on earth happened? Well, I'm not kidding. We had fireworks break out, literally and figuratively, on and off the racetrack.
Oh, looked like this started with contact between Corenta and maybe the 31 at Templeton, and that just stacked everybody up behind them. Looked like Schatzer might have flipped it, not to run into that one.
I think it may have stacked up further out from the front of the field. Let's take a look here. Watch the front of the field. Watch Corinna.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Corinna.
Corinna underneath 3 wide. Oof, no, Flero sent it into Chapman. And that's what started this whole brouhaha.
Yeah, that was a bit ambitious from Flero right there.
Absolutely.
On lap 1.
Some of the drivers just getting a little bit impatient. But these guys need to know that this is a very long race. 35 laps. 5 laps more than the race last season. We're ready for the restart. 3 laps in the books. And we'll go double file once again. Same starting lineup with the exception of the drivers that spun out. 1 lap, though, will be on the board. Grandy holds serve. Corinna back to second. Flero all over Chapman. Doesn't look underneath for a spot. Wilson takes the 3rd position. 3 wide for 4th. Spangler stuck in the middle. Dustin Sargent takes the 4th spot away as Wilson starts to blink. A lot of good racing mid-pack. As the action ramps up here. John, a fun battle for third with Sargent all over Wilson. Wilson's got to lay it on Grandy, and Corinna just took the lead a couple moments ago. Wilson, contact with Grandy. What a save by the teammates.
Wow, that was a nice save right there. I bet you if you go back, has another couple shots at that, he doesn't save that car. That was a heck of a job there by Wilson.
Absolutely. What a save. Unbelievable save. Let's take a look at the pass for the lead Corinna made on Joseph Grandy. Up on the outside. And same thing that Grandy made in the Rebels. He did not get high up in time. And so that puts him, and especially with that save, all the way back to the 5th spot. Spangler's talking about look out, stack up. What does a wheelie? That's Flaro. And this is going to lead to a rock. He's up on his lid, up and over. Caution is out. And it just goes from bad to worse for Joseph Grandy again. And a tough break for Flaro, who had an incredible charge in his heat race. You see Grandy rode the wall, and Flaro just ramped up on the wheel, and they hooked. And on his lid went to 200. And cannot get back on all 4 wheels. He needs to use a quick repair and a tow at the same time.
Things happen fast here at the Big E, and sometimes when you have trouble in front of you, you're so hyper-focused on what's right in front of you. You don't look that far down the track, and by the time you see something, you're in it with these speeds that you're running here.
Absolutely. I remember before we had the new damage model that when you were on your side, you could actually try and roll it around and try and get back on all 4 wheels. But now these days, you're up on your side and you're taking a nap.
Yeah, and even then, you know, if you can exit your car and take that tow as quick as you can, that can be the difference between staying on the lead lap and falling a lap down. You know, some of these tracks, especially ones this size, you can get back and get to the end of pit road. You might be a half a lap behind, but you're not a whole lap.
So a double file up. This is the final double file restart we'll have in this race. Next caution will go single file, and it's Ross Corinna out in front. I believe the first time all season we've seen Ross out in the lead. Third in points coming on in. Time for the Mission 22 restart. Second Salty Dogs caution in the books. Back to green, 6 laps complete. There goes Spangler underneath as he wants the race lead. Spangler wants to make some moves on the low side. Pulls out in front by just the front wing. Can he throw the slide job up on Ross Corinna? Corinna sees it coming, but the yellow's out, and it's Joseph Grandy. Not what Spangler wanted. He's gonna have to try it again.
Yeah, and it looks like Verstraeten just ran out of room. Those guys going for the same spots and
just moved him up.
Yeah.
Man, Kyle Sargent doing a nice job of it. Oh, that was Gary Taylor that came in flying.
Yeah, and this time Grandy's got quite a bit of damage.
This is where we'll have to use a quick repair.
Yes.
There you see the slight wheel touch. That was the Sargent miss. Roger Craig also with a nice duck.
Several Code Brown moments there for a few drivers coming by that.
I don't know though. Do Bass and Duck go well together?
Bass and Duck?
Yeah.
I wouldn't think so. But
now the next question I have is, I know ducks, not only do they like to hang out on land, but they also like to hang out on top of ponds. So does that consider them as a meat or a seafood?
I'm going to go with meat.
This is like if a hot dog is a sandwich.
It's not.
All depends. In Rochester, if you had a Tom Walls or a Bill Gray's in my area, it is a sandwich. So, all right.
I understand.
Single file rest of the way. Ross Corinna, Patrick Spangler, Dustin Sargent, John Short, Tyler Wilson bring us back to the green flag. We have completed 20% of this race. Spangler tries it underneath. Corinna sees it coming, shuts the door right in his face.
Oh, big. The wrecking
yep,
going into one.
Yep, wreck it all over. They save it. Landis and Flero with some close calls. Corinna, though, continues to lead. Best battle on track is right here. Short. Tries to slide job Wilson. The Macho Man to run up to the outside, and now they're wrecking. Caution's out for Preston Cranmer taking a nap. And the flips just keep on continuing.
Man, I thought they only had that at the Chili Bowl, and I kind of feel like we should have it here.
Ooh, got clipped from Randy Streves.
Oh, I don't even know what Randy was thinking there. I don't know if Preston might have lifted a little early going into the corner. Or
I don't know.
That's tough to figure out what went on there.
That's an interesting situation. And the reason why, and I'm not going to say the reason why I say that, but I'm just going to say that is interesting. So another yellow here in the Renegades. While we were at it, gives us a chance to give you our Dylan Westbrook schedule for what's coming up the rest of the week. Tomorrow night, Topside Tuesday, we've got Pro Late Models at Fairbury and the Truck Series at Darlington. Wednesday night, the Hometown Heroes at Knoxville and the Late Model Cars Tour at Hickory. Thursday night, Thunder pairs the Modifieds at Lanier and the Xfinity Trail at Darlington. Next Monday night for Monday Night Madness, it's showtime at Williams Grove Speedway for Week 10. Start time on Monday night, 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Everything you can watch right here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
I am looking forward to Fairbury tomorrow on the late model. That's one of my favorite car track combinations.
We'll love to see Fairbury back too for the sprint cars. That's one of my favorite tracks when it comes to sprint racing. Back to green. Corinna holds, decides to use the low line. Let's see what the high side banger can do on the patented Larson line. Corinna opens up again. Remember, that's a Vanderbilt car too. They know how to run that low line. One driver sideways off of four. It's the sixth place car of Cote. Corinna switches back up top, but he clips the wall for just a moment. So you're on board Spain. Look at the rear end of Corinna. There's some rear end damage to that tail tank. Could that be aero damage perhaps there, John?
It could be. It could be, yeah, if he damaged even the front wing even a little bit, that's going to affect everything, but...
Oh, big wreck, Chapman! Around in turn 3, Steven Speeds is also collected. Yellow lights are on. That is the second place driver in points coming on into the night.
What happened?
Right in the blink of an eye. First driver amongst the top 5 with issues. Oh, he just got clipped with Cote just barely.
Yeah, just not giving a whole lot of room, and for Straighten went into that. Spees is into that.
Cote caught the wall, forced to go low. Chapman tries to use his advantage, and Cote just slightly came up with that rear tire. Man!
Yeah, and
that driver's
Chapman
side
is
impact.
Yeah, Chapman isn't taking his past repairs, so he's going to be going all the way to the back. For Straighten did too.
So Chapman moves back to 20th. Chapman's 2 worst finishes of the season, a 20th at an oval Lincoln Speedway, and 2 12ths this season. So really needs to finish in the top 10 to keep the point standings up and at it. This yellow flag helps out Ross Corinna, who I think, in my opinion, is forcing Patrick Spangler at this point to make a slide job with the way he was running the outside. Time for the Mission 22 restars. The Salty Dogs yellow. Just about in the books. We've completed 12 here at the Big E. So Corinna holds serve. He likes to run the low line for a lap or so and then swap things back up top right there. But Spangler with a good back straightaway. I feel like he's got a lot better straight line speed than Corinna does. Would you agree, John?
Yeah, 100%. You can see him just creep up to him every time down these back stretches, and he catches them right as they enter the corners. So he's going to have to figure out how to stay right on that bumper as they get through the corners. If he does that, then gets one of those runs, we're going to have a new leader.
Lap traffic will be a factor here momentarily. That's Brandon Templeton. And the 31 leader's about to approach. There goes Spangler to the inside. Slide job. Spangler, Corinna sees it coming, and Corinna keeps the lead. And this brings in Dustin Sargent to the equation, the Rebels winner. Looking to win, I would believe it would be his first ever Renegades race if he could do that. That'd be huge. 16 laps complete. Corinna bobbles in 1 and 2. Spangler all over that tail tank. Wants to make his way down the inside. Pulls at a line. Inside he goes for the slide job. Clips the inside line.
Caution, though.
Oh, man, and it's Trent Verstraeten. Up and over he goes. And Corinna will be the leader. Spangler just has, it's just so much bad timing for Patrick here, and Verstraeten just rolled the wall in turn 1. What a cartwheel that is.
That's a massive cartwheel. Jeez.
You know how we have the flip pit in Volusia, John?
Yes,
We may have to call this place the cartwheel track.
maybe, because that was spectacular.
It really was.
Kind of made me a little nauseous just watching it. I wasn't even in the car.
Make you nauseous watching this on board. Best finish this season for Dustin Sargent in Renegades competition is a 21st at I-55. Should be 1 to green this time by. This is Dustin Sargent's 7th start in Renegades comp. His best finish in the Renegades ever, 13th at Volusia. That'd be pretty cool if he could get it done.
Absolutely. I think that would, you'd classify that as an upset, wouldn't you?
Probably, yeah. Should tell you as well, the win for Dustin Sargent in the Rebels race, that was actually, didn't realize this, his first ever win in the Rebels as we're back to green. So congrats to Dustin on that. Forgot to mention that in our post-race interview with him. Now you see a gap. Oh, Wilson! Wheelie off for 4. Nobody hits him. Great save for the Macho Man, but he falls all the way back to 10.
John Short walked up to him and pitched him up there, and they both are able to continue on.
And John's got Cote right behind him, breathing down on his neck for the 4th spot. Back to the right to the lead. Here comes Spangler up on the high side, but Corinna slams it over in his face. I think he threw a slider in 1 and 2 there, John.
Yeah, I think so. I was looking back at the pack here, but yeah, I don't know why I'm looking back at the pack. This battle for the lead, it's on, and here we go again.
Slide job, Spangler. Corinna reads it perfectly. At the line, Spangler, I believe. Check that closely, John. Oh, Corinna caught the wall.
Yeah, and that's going to give Spangler a big advantage.
And Corinna
down here.
rides it. He's in trouble. Spangler's got the race lead of the Big E. 22 laps in the books. But Corinna's not out of it just yet. Could he throw a slider on the high side banger, perhaps? Decides not to. Very surprising to see that.
Yeah, I don't think he was close enough to do it.
Dustin Sargent.
Yeah, he needs to be about
Corinna with another.
Yeah, I was going to say, he needs to be about another car length, but never mind. As soon as I was about to say that, he got the wall.
I'm checking the right sides closely to see if there's any denting to it. Just continues to bounce off and loses so much time, and affects as well Dustin Sargent. This allows Short to close in. who's looking to break the podium, and he nearly makes contact with Dustin. 10 to go. Spangler's open up the lead to 7/10 of a second. Trying to blow this race wide open. Let's go to a race for 7th. Devo, all the way on the bottom. I think he's trying to save fuel. Races Steven Spees for the 7th spot. Should mention as well your biggest mover of the race here, John. Randy Shreve started last. He's up 15 spots in the 9th. This high side is starting to give up to a lot of people. You see all the sparks. Oh, short sideways! Bounces off the inside wall, but a great save for the 51. And Sargent rides the wall. So many sparks, and both of them sideways again. They save it again with 7 to go. This is insane.
That opened the door for Speed. He said thank you very much.
Look who moved into 3rd as well. How about the goose, Chad Cote? Cote told me before the race that this is redemption day after a tough week last week. He's in the podium right now after starting 9th.
Good run for Chad.
Corinna and Cote both need a yellow because with 5 laps to go, Spangler's got a 2.5-second lead, but look at this traffic. He's got to endure. This is going to be a wild 4 laps for the high side banger to extend his points lead. This would be his first win of the season. Preston Kramer takes the 07 into pit road. Best finish for Spangler this season is 2nd twice. 3 laps to go. Let's go to the race for 2nd. So many sparks are flying on and off the racetrack. And Cote may get 2nd here at the end. On board with Corinna. 2 sticks up, 2 laps to go. Sargent rides the wall again. White is out, 1 lap to go for the high side banger and Patrick Spangler. He was the favorite coming in. This is a high side track. And off turn number 4, win one of the season. Spangler extends his point lead. He wins at Eldora. 2nd at the line, Corinna, and then Cote. That was insanity.
What a good race.
Randy Shreve, your flatline hard charger from 24th to 8th. He gained 2/3 of the field. We should give a shout out to Terry Landis, who started 23rd to finish in 10th. And there's Spangler, who parks it up on the ramp. And the fire flies. You know, I just thought of something for a charity idea. You know, we normally do the Knoxville Nationals. We should do like a King's Royal event. King someone the first, you know what I mean? It'd be fun to do.
Over at TJ Slideways?
Yes.
That'd be cool.
So your top 3 are there on the podium. And we've got them all in, I think. Now, we've got Dustin Sargent in there. Did we miss something on Cote? That is Heat 2 results. I'm sorry. Nope, Cote is the 3rd place finisher. So we'll get the goose in shortly and we'll talk with him.
Yeah, people might pop in to congratulate Ross. That's a popular win in the garage area. Ross is a really good guy and does a lot of people's paints and stuff like that.
To
so
finish in 2nd, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I finished 2nd, but yeah, having Ross up there would be popular.
11 drivers on the lead lap at the end. Patrick Spangler, the winner. Ross Corinna, 2nd. Chad Cote, 3rd. Dustin Sargent, 4th. Steven Spees, 5th. John Short, 6th. Blake Chapman, 7th. 8th, Randy Shreves. 9th, Tyler Wilson. And 10th, Terry Landis. Jack hit 11th. Donovan Ross, 12th. 13th, Jeff Barker. 14th, Kurt Schatzer. 15th, Roger Craig. 16th, Barry Goldner. 17th, Bob DeGood. 18th, Gary Taylor. 19th, Jeff Flero. 20th, Kyle Sargent. 21st, Preston Kramer. 22nd, Trent Verstraeten. 23rd, Brandon Templeton. And 24th, Joseph Grandy. I think Cote is a little bit too. Nope, we got Chad. All right, we'll bring him on in here. Chad, man, you told me it was Redemption Day. Entering tonight, got yourself a podium. Well done. I think he's too excited still that his mic's on mute. Chad, you got a copy? All right, we'll grab Chad in just a moment. We'll grab Ross right now, our second place finisher. Ross, that was a lot of fun. What more did you need, though, in your opinion, for Patrick Spangler? Was it just trying to keep the car off the wall?
Oh, you noticed that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I couldn't keep the car off the wall for some reason, and I basically just needed him to make a mistake, but Patrick doesn't do that very often. I was hoping if I could get settled down and kind of keep it off the wall that maybe he would make a mistake, but no such luck.
Absolutely. Where did you feel like your car was really good at tonight as a whole?
Well, I mean, the car felt good on the top as long as I could not jump the cushion, but I don't know. I was struggling with that, and shout out to Trevor Meyer for the setup, at M9, but just gotta get a little more practice in, I guess, and make things work together.
Absolutely. Other than that, any other positives you take away?
Oh, I mean, obviously, a second place finish in this league is nothing to hang your head over. Anytime you can get on the podium, it's good. Luckily, last couple days ago, we got about 3/4 inch of rain, so I got shut down planting, so I was able to run tonight. But other than that, I mean, like I said, it's always fun to race with these guys, and anytime you can get a podium, it's positive.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Phantom Motorsport guys, Vanderbilt guys, M9 Performance, Weichel Sportswear, Bar Outdoors, Velocity Race Design. You guys for putting on the show, and everybody behind the scenes making this thing work.
All right, man. We'll let you go. Nice job. Great second place run.
Thank you.
That's Ross Cordero, second place finisher. I don't know if we'll have Chad Cote. I think he's having some technical difficulties. Let's try again. See if we can move him on in here. Chad, you got a copy? All right, still no sign of Chad yet. We'll put him back in the Cote Motorsports chat. While we're at it, we'll go to Victory Lane and talk with your winner, the high side banger, Patrick Spangler. Patrick, you extend your points lead. What a run again in that second half.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Real narrow on the top, and hate throwing sliders here because it's like you're in a death slide till the toothpick cushion up there. So it was a little dangerous, but got her done.
Seemed like as well a lot of bad timing too. Whenever you try and make a slide job and get the lead, a yellow flag would then come out.
Yep, and then that one time that Ross hit the wall coming out of 4, it was a slider into 2, and I did not feel comfortable going up to the wall, so I just hung it in the middle of the track, and he got back around me, but was able to stick it in 3 and 4 and hold on to it.
How much fun was that race, though, as a whole?
It was pretty fun. Definitely a workout at this track. Just trying to keep that wheel straight. But yeah, wish some of the Moon Racing engines would have been here, so I could at least get a win with them here. But hopefully they'll be back next week.
Next week, though, we're going back to PA at Williams Grove. That's gonna be a lot of fun. What's the outlook look like there?
I've had some pretty good races there with Golden. I remember one year was real good, and then I've also parked it into the woods in 1 and 2. So hopefully just keep it on the track, get a solid finish, and keep the good points streak going.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Just you for the awesome broadcast, John for helping out there, Roger for running the league, Triangles Racing, Tyler got some damage there, but he still got a top 10, and Randy got a podium in the Rebels. And Dad Uncle back home watching.
All righty. We'll let you go. Congratulations on this win. See you next week.
Thanks. Sounds good.
Patrick Spangler, your winner in Extreme E-Speed TV Victory Lane. Let's see if we got him. Chad, you got a copy?
Can you hear me, Marty?
Yes, we can hear you. All right.
Yay!
We got you now. Yes. You told me earlier today that it was Redemption Day for you after last week. You got it on the podium. How's this feel?
Marty, I feel so good right now. My car was so fast throughout that entire race.
How many times did you hit the wall? I'm curious, because we saw a lot of it late in the going. And did you
Me
think
personally, probably I'm gonna say like a handful of times. As for the guys in front of me, I'm gonna say over 100 because they were riding fences in my VR. It was mayhem up front.
Absolutely. Did you think you had a chance at Ross at the end?
Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna slide him, but I figured Ross is Ross. He's good. I love racing him. I'm not gonna wreck us with 2 or 3 to go, right?
Absolutely.
There's no point.
Especially as well with all that lap traffic you guys had to deal with late in the going.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, man. I know you'll take this. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Yeah, my whole race team, American Dirt Motorsports, they put a hot rod together for me tonight. Our sponsors, 34 Raceway, Dirt Company Media House, Ram Designs, Marty, you for the broadcast, and Roger for the league.
All righty. Well, we'll let you go. Congratulations. Great job. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
That's the Goose, Chad Cote. He finishes third. If I recall correctly, last season at Eldora, we had that wild B-main with so many drivers in it, so many good drivers in it, and on the last lap, Cote was out. I believe, am I correct, John? Correct me if I'm wrong.
I have no recollection. I watched so many races through the course of a week here at C2C. I do good to even just remember the last one.
All right, so here are how the point standings look with the drop. Spangler extends his points lead up 516 to 474 on Ross Corina. Blake Chapman down to third with 470 points. Chad Cote stays fourth with 458 points. And John Shore is fifth with 437 points. With that being said, that's going to do it for tonight. John, as we sign off, next week, Williams Grove. It's always a track. Yep. That's a driver's track. You never know what's going to happen. It's so tough, and it's so tight when it comes to the corners.
It's a lot of fun. I can't wait to get there.
Absolutely. We'll sign off for that on behalf of everyone at the Coast to Coast Racing League, Extreme Speed TV, all the fine drivers and sponsors, Roger Craig, Preston Kramer, their talented crew of admins. On behalf of John High, Mari Scala signing off. Your winners tonight, Kevin Fry, Dustin Sargent, and Patrick Spangler. So long, everyone.